here. It's down. Okay. Let's get away. Let's make it up for another day. All right. Just letting folks know it's Saturday. Here we go. Just taping that down for the moment. Happy Saturday, everybody. Good morning. Okay, I think I know exactly where I want to put that. You know, it's amazing how I can never find anything. Oh, hey, I actually put it away. Good morning. This part is not in the pattern, but I'm going to round off my corners. I just like how they look. Okay, we're going to see if this will work. Come on. Yeah, I rounded it a little bit. Getting that last corner in was a little tough. Okay, is this it? Nope. Seem to have misplaced a piece because that is definitely not the right measurement. Or it could kind of be, and I just need to trim it. Okay, I'm waiting for my heat press to heat up because I just got a couple things to press down for stabilizer. Escapade. There it is. Alrighty. I'm trying something a little bit different too. I'm real low on Decoville Heavy. So I'm trying to use up some of the Peltex 70. Ooh, nice. Oh, no, that's not the song I thought it was. Sad Panda. Good morning. All right, we are making the Moondance. Okay, I think that might actually work. Okay, so what I did was I took my Peltex, which doesn't have any stickiness to it, and I put a piece of SoFuse Plus over it. Good morning, Charles. I'm making the Moondance. It's a notebook cover from Sincerely Jen. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and press this again because it's clinging nicely in the middle, but it's the sides that aren't doing what I want them to do. The music seems loud. Hang on. There we go. Now y'all can also hear the under mutterings that I tend to do. I'm going to press this one more time. I might have to overcut it a lot and then trim it down. Oh, that's done. That way, I am going to need to do that in a moment. So that's not going to go far. So I'm using a little black kitty cat outside. So this is from Positive Paints Design. It's their Cthulhu. He's so cute. Okay, let me see if this will help too. So I'm going to take my bone folder. I'm just going to kind of go along the edges of this interfacing. See if I can get it to stick down while it's hot. Mainly what I'm trying to do is just encase this non-fusible interfacing so that I didn't have to cut out of my disappearing Decoville Heavy. Okay. Let's see, there it is so far. It's going to be a really quick sew. And then there's a chance that I'm going to go ahead and try to get, I did get the edge paint to edge coat it. I'm going to give it a little bit of a glue here and there. Break it down. It's always good to know different or ways to interface your projects, different ways to do so, because you might have it to where you're wanting to sew something and you don't have the interfacing that you normally would use. So it's good to know that if you don't have that interfacing, you can always use a backup. Okay, I'm gonna let this cool and that glue set. I have 12 bags that still have, where'd you go? There you are. Okay. So there's this little piece of Decoville Heavy. I have like pieces all over the place. So that wasn't hard to go ahead. And I want something that's going to fuse, because that's going to be the stabilizer for the notebook itself. Okay. It's a lot of measurements, so I'm not going to be giving out most of those. Oh, why did I do it that way? I do not know why I put my piece of vinyl in. I put my piece of vinyl right side up instead of right side down. I mean, it's still fused, and that's why I use Teflon sheets, but just tells you how out of it I am this morning. To Miami. I don't break it down. Okay, so I do need to do one cut. I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm going to do the cut, but I'm also going to put, it's a good thing that part's covered. I'm also going to put little end dots. Okay, so yeah, she does have, I don't know, I wonder why, I saw Lauren make this, and I don't know why she didn't put stop holes. Okay, so I need my pen. Okay. The advantage to using this ruler is it's very hard for anybody on camera to see it. The disadvantage is it's kind of hard for me to see it. It's got just a little bit too much glitter in it. And yes, that is a thing. I heard about nights at the schoolyard. Okay, so quarter there and quarter there. Okay, so I drew my line. And what I like to do is punch the holes. And that way the holes will help stop the cutter. And I had planned on having a notebook to put in here, but I can't find one in the house at all. And yesterday my husband was home sick and I wasn't feeling good. Neither of us are still not feeling great. Scissors. So I went all the way across with my rotary, but I did kind of a small stop at the hole. So now we have a mouth. Morning, Cynthia. Oh, I'm low energy. Oh, hey, I've got Mountain Dew. Low energy and not feeling great. But it will be okay. I think it'll be even better once I have these bleeding Aries done. Okay. Alrighty. Where'd my thing go? So I have a vinyl tag here. That's pretty much just a tag that I printed on vinyl and then cut them down. Yeah, I really do too. I think it's just between the weather and I made some questionable food choices this week. So that doesn't help. Well, I hope your work day is really good. Ugh. So I've got my left side piece. Oh, well, at least it's only once in a while. I have my divider piece, which I did put I used my clips to clip the corners. I'm going to do that on my card pocket too. Like a candle in the wind. Those are going to be covered. Okay, so first, I'm going to also, I wonder if you would be able to put a heat transfer vinyl on the inside, then put your middle piece on and then your two side pieces, and then just not sew down like that inside pocket if it would make another pocket. 845 to 140. Well, that's not too bad. Heck, that's sometimes that's practically what I work. Okay, well, let's try this first. I do my best to make the pattern first, then change everything about it. So I have my card pocket, 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Okay, so right here. I guess I could finish threading my machine. I think that would work. I think my machine would work so much better if I threaded it. That's okay. I'll get this clipped real quick because I think I'm going to put my chubby bun. No, I don't know if I want to put it here or here because then it's going to get bent. I did have plans to put it here. I think it's going to be just a smidge too big. Trapped. Oh. Or what I could do get my super sharp scissors. I really like having these vinyl ones because this way I'm not adding any hardware. Nope, go over there. Yeah, I'm going to put it right on the card pocket. That'll be perfect. So if you have like a tag that you want to putting it on that card pocket, I think will help. Well, it will be a good placement for it. Here we go. Just going along the edges to kind of seal up these fuzzies. Not burn it, seal it. So that's charged. Get a piece of tape, and then I will go ahead and finish rethreading my machine. Because I changed the thread because I'm working with a certain thread for my carpet royalty bags for the 12 that are taking over my life. There we go. Okay, so see, let me thread my machine because I don't know why I keep. Here we go. So I have this really pretty orange. That's kind of a nice light orange. And I think that'll look really good with this pattern. Come here, you. Really? Precious time, get your act together, we could be just fine. Alright, let's try that again. Okay. I almost just went ahead and was like, no, you're just gonna be on a batch sewing journey with me. But I really do need to wind some more bobbins. I really should have wound like 12 to 13 bobbins. I just didn't want to. Good morning, Sierra. Working on the Moondance from Sincerely Jen. Words are very hard for me today. I mean, you've been around a hot second. You know, words are hard for me every day. All right. Going from A to Z. Can I close it? There we go. Okay, so normally I put a little piece of tape on my threads when I pull them through, but I think I'm going to have to actually tie them off so that, because this is a pocket that you're going to see. Why aren't you pulling through? There we go. Come on. Yeah, these bags, this batch of bags is really testing me. And the worst part is I know I'm going to be doing 12 again at another point. Because it's pretty much the amount of those fabric designs that I'm wanting to make sure I get done. Oh, that worked out nicely. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now let's try that again. I had it placed. Has anybody else seen that the Josie and the Pussycats movie with Rosario Dawson and Tara Reid and God, I can't remember her name now, and I love her too. But I love that movie. I absolutely adore that movie. It makes me laugh whenever they talk about Du Jour, the boy band that's on it. Yes. Anytime I hear this one, that We Got It Going On by Backstreet Boys, it makes me think of Du Jour. Like, I really wish it didn't. Let's see. Let me see if I can do that a little bit. There we go. Ivy, I'm making the Moondance by Sincerely Jen. So this is the pocket. I'm going to sew on the little credit card pocket. It's a really, already I can tell it's a very, very quick sew. I just already can tell there's a couple of things there's one thing that I want to try out on my next one. Oop, did I not change my stitch length back? No, but that actually works out nicely for here. I do want, there we go. Okay, so I did back stitch. I didn't pull my threads back. I don't normally do that. I did on my tag. That's about the only place I do. I'm going to pull these back and then cinch them real close so they kind of melt into place and create a tiny blob. One of the reasons I don't is because My knot skills, apparently, I'm just never been good at tying knots. But don't use vinyl. I think it wouldn't be that hard to replicate this with fabric. You honestly could do the whole thing and then just put a backing on it and then sew it at like, maybe even if you add 1/4 of an inch around everything and then just sandwich it with a lining and flip it out. You probably could even flip it out in the middle. Let me show you what I mean. Now you really would want, I know, because you could even do that if you wanted, I guess. Because you probably could do like a zipper facing here and flip it through. Huh. That might be a thing. What I was thinking is, it seems like this is a lot of extra wasted space to me. So, and I've got a piece of Sofuse Plus with my interfacing because it doesn't have glue on it. So I wanted something to kind of sandwich it on there so it would stay better. So the next step is to put this piece on in the middle. So what if you put this piece on? So, sorry, let me organize my thought process. There we go. So what if you sandwiched here, like where this has got that interfacing, what if you put heat transfer vinyl on it? Then put this middle piece on, and then when you're sewing down your sides, instead of sewing down this way, you leave it open so that it's a slip pocket. I might actually even do that here because it's not like you're going to see the inside of it. Oh, before I do all of that, yeah, I think it would just work better. And so I've gone ahead and clipped my side corners so that they have that little curve instead of the sharp corner. There's what I wanted. I'm just making sure that this is even on all sides. Okay, so I've got that clipped. So I'm going to sew around the outside of it, but not the long opening, so that you have that little pocket there. Okay, let's do that. Oh. It's going to be one of those days. I haven't eaten much the last few days because I haven't felt good, so my body tends to go into this like panic mode. And where these corners are, where the pocket opens, that is definitely not somewhere where I'm not going to back stitch. Those are massive stress points. And to me, that's just asking for your threads to come undone. But that is what you do. That is an opinion of mine. Go. So I'm going to pull the threads back, but I'm not going to cut it. So there's that pocket. Here we go. And take a wee bit of tape. You know what? I just remembered. I'm going to be leaving that open. So we are going to Singe and press. There we go. Glad I remembered that. Okay. I'm just kind of marking where my mid is. I am also a massive stress point. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, I guess I could also use my ruler and measure and see if it's the same on both sides. Which it's not. Is it not? 7.8. Where are the directions? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I totally read the instructions. I've watched this made a couple of times. It is literally just a simple notebook cover. But sometimes that's when things can go awry the quickest, is when it's simple and you're overconfident in your guessing skills. Oh, that's a good idea. Where are you at? Right through day, one price to pay, I'll be missing you. Okay, now we have that. Now my piece is longer, and that is literally. Now, if you didn't put tape here, you probably could like fold this down across the top and use it to, actually, my tape is low enough that I might be able to get away with just using it as, where's my pen? Like just kind of like pushing it in, like pushing the clip in there. I might try to do that. I'm not going to do that because I know you have to sew across it. I am trying to remember the construction of this. I'm going ahead and clipping those off. I'm probably going to go over it with a rotary blade anyways. Okay. So now I need these. Now we are going to clip everything together. Matter who you are. Well, that's a good idea. Okay, so part of the construction is that you sew down this and it sews both of these at the same time. I'm thinking I'll just sew down right next to it, and that will adhere that to it. When you're putting your piece down that's going to hold the notebook, you want to make sure that you're putting it to where the top is lined up, because you did a measurement down, so you don't want this moved really. So this is important that this stays the same. Whereas if you have to trim off a little at the bottom, that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Okay, so there's that piece. Oh, cool. Bo, good morning. What you gonna go get your hair done? I need to get mine done because I'm like, this is bothering me. But every time I like shave it myself, I take a chunk out of somewhere that I don't want. So I've had to like leave it alone for 6 months. And every once in a while I look in the mirror and I start looking over at the shaver and I'm like, I could do it, right? I could do it better this time. Ooh, oh, I saw some good braids yesterday. Like neon, like it was everything 90s in her braids. It was awesome. She had some gorgeous orange and some neon pinks and some neon greens in there. And I was like, I'm like everything. I'm loving everything. Okay, so I have it pinned, clipped, whatever you want to call it. It's easy to kind of see what it's going to look like. Oh, I'm sure you could be brave enough. Start with one braid. Tell them to put one, like pick your favorite color and just get one braid in that color, but have them kind of put it not hidden per se, but like maybe underneath to where you know that pop of color is there. And as you get used to having that one, every once in a while, add another one in. I don't know. I never had a sense of fear for my hair because it does what it wants. I wonder if I want to clip those. We'll see. Now you can sew with this side up. I do not like how the bobbin looks, the bobbin thread looks, so I tend to sew with it up. And then what I will do is I'm going to sew all the way around. I'll pull it up and then I'll do my insides so that these are open. So that it's an extra slip pocket if you need to shove a piece of paper in there. A shaker one or an Eda one would be amazing, though. Definitely a good idea. See, my bravado fails me when it comes to doing liquid shakers. I know that shit's just gonna get everywhere. At least with dry shakers, I don't have to worry too much about well, I mean, I do still have to worry about glitter getting everywhere. Now, wait, please. Okay. Now I'm kind of doing a little bit of a fat 1/8 because I know I'm gonna want to trim this down. I might have to figure out a fabric one like this. I wonder if somebody's already got a hack for it. There was a planner one that Just from Okla Roots did, and I did a fabric one instead of vinyl. And it was pretty much just taking the piece of stabilizer and folding the fabric over it. And syringe the liquid in. Yeah, I think that's how most of them do it. Oh, that's too far. There we go. I know Amber from Crafty Reporter did one, or has done a couple. She's got a video on it. I need to go back and watch it again so that I can make that my next brave thing. And I think I figured out the video situation. So every time I go to do a step of the 12 bags I'm doing for my convention, for my batch sew, every time I go to do a new step, I record me doing one of them so that I can put the video together. Oop. I'm glad I've got the window behind my sewing machine. The number of times that I have knocked over my cup. There we go. Alrighty. Let's see how that looks. All right, so far so good. Okay, so right now, so what she has you do, she has you sew this side up because she's having you do one continuous top stitch. So over this way, down. If you're wanting to do one continuous without going over it, you would start here, right here at one of these points, go around this pocket, go back up, over, down, and then around. And you can do a faux stitch down here before you start if you want. It's like a mind puzzle trying to figure out how to do all of this. Let's see. With the lining comes out baggy. Unless you go like drastically into it. Like I'm talking 5/8 of a stitch, of a seam allowance on it. You could shave down your lining piece, the what is it? The gusset, and that would help. There we go. All right, let me get these singed. I just get my zapper real close to the thread and kind of pull up a little bit and then make sure that it can catch a little bit. If I don't think it did, then I go back in. I fold it over so that I can get kind of closer. There we go. That's better. Okay. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to actually sew down this section because it's pretty much like on there. It's not going to come off, but if you're pulling in, you might catch your hand on it and yank it wrong. So I am going to go ahead and sew down right next to these openings. Oh, yeah, Bo, you're supposed to use the lower pieces. I actually cut them down even more, but that's because of the what will also help is if you're not adding an inside pocket at all, use the zipper one because you're adding in that placket. That'll help as well. All right, let's see how this looks. So I'm going to start right where my top stitching is. Hopefully. Yep, there we go. Move the controller out of my way. I'm going right next to that left lining piece. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Line up right where I've got my stitches. No, you don't. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. And this is the first one of these that I've made, so I'm already, of course, making changes. That's not going to help me. I'm picking up a clip like it's going to help me get these threads through. Oh, those might just be really... Come on. Hopefully that looks okay on that side. Oh, that does look nice. Okay, cool. All right, now cinch some threads. I was trying to decide if I wanted to edge coat this. It just seems to add a cost that I don't want to add to it. Yes, my stickers are out for delivery. I don't think that's going to work. That's okay. All right. And there we go. Got a nice little spine on it. So I'm just going to take my fingers on either side and just kind of push it in. But I'm not squishing really. I'm trying to kind of round out. There we go. The spine a little bit. I wonder. Oh, just gonna take one of my my classic zip around forms here. There we go. See, now we have a nice round spine. Okay, what I'll do is I'll go over to my table later and I'll just trim this down, just make everything nice and even and straight. I did go, like I said, a heavier 1/8 of an inch because I knew I was going to have to trim it a little bit. But we have a pocket here. We have a little card pocket here. And the way I did it is that we now have this slip pocket here, which normally I would use like a heat transfer vinyl in there, but you're not going to see it. And then an extra slip pocket here. Like, I don't think this one's necessary, to be honest, because you're going to have that notepad there. But if you didn't want to do a notepad on this, you could do two of these pockets on each side and or even build up some card slots. Maybe do some recessed card slots there so that it's more of a just like a rewards notebook. That's an idea. Because my mom has like a ton of those rewards cards. And I bet she would like something like a little thinner than this, probably like half the width. Might have to work on that idea. Thank you. I really like it. I think it's so cute. So these will probably be coming with me because that really was a nice quick sew. That was, and with us chattering and everything, that was barely a 45-minute sew. I do know that Nicole at Sonar has a really cool passport pattern that I've been wanting to get too. So I know some folks that travel. All right. So let's take a look at what else I have. Guess I should have cut out more than one of those. I don't want to do those. All right. Let's do this. Because I have these 12 bags sitting here and it is going to, I just want them done. Oh my God, I want them done. I want them done so badly because I've already found the next pattern I want to do. Do I not have a blue? Oh, I need to wind some bobbins while I'm at it. But I found a new cute bag. It's called Twilight something. Let me see if I've got it on my iPad. Oh no, bowl cozies. Oh, please. I need to get more bowl cozies because my husband just about destroyed the last set we had. I'm so mad too. Because his bowl slides around in it, so he sloshes everywhere. Drives me nuts. Let me see. I'm trying to see. I think I uploaded the pattern because I have all my patterns in my Dropbox. I highly recommend a Dropbox or some sort of cloud. I need to look at StreamYard. It's on my list of things to do today. Yes, it's on here. Ooh. I saw somebody's version of this bag and I knew I had to have it. Why is this room so freaking hot? Come on. You can do it. You can do it. But yeah, that's on my list of things to do today. I've got a few things away from the machine that I need to do. Oh, that's what I put there. I thought I put the black there. Urgh. Hang on. Here we go. Put the right thread away. I'm just going to throw things around. Sorry about that. Why is all my technology taking forever to do anything? I'm going to have to order more blue. Do I have to stand up to do this? Probably. What's going on? Okay, so this is the Twilight Traveler. It is the first bag from Scroll and Turquoise, and it is adorable. Like, look at it. Holy crap, it is so cute. Let me show you the one that, like, I bought this bag because of the bag that this person made. And I saw her post and was like, oh, well, that's something I need in my life. Here you go. See, I love the pocket. Looks like it's a bound bag. If it's not, it will be. But look at how cute it is. Oh. And I already have a couple of ideas of what I want to do. And I'm very excited to do this to make myself a new bag. But I also need to see how big it is. Because, like, it says the dimensions. It says that it's 10 by 9.5. 10. That might be good. But I'm really bad at spatial guessing. Oh, it is the Twilight Traveler from Scroll and Turquoise. It is their first pattern. Maybe lavender. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I saw that bag and I need it too. That's another one that I'm very, very excited for. Let me do this. That's another one that's on my list. The thing is that any type of bag that has, I have to look at the way the bag comes together to know whether or not it's going to be one that I can do more than just have it as a, yeah, because I have product patterns, the Erica, the Aries modded, my backpacks, which I have something to show y'all that we're going to see how well it works when I make another backpack. I know she just did one recently with the Real Monsters. That I was like, oh my God, that bag is amazing. But those are production bags. Those are bags that I don't mind doing for production. I can do a few at a time without losing my mind. I really need to stop doing 12 at a time because I'm ready to just put all these bags on the lawn and set them on fire. Oh no. Candace, bowl cozies, it's kind of a square that it's God help me, why are words so hard sometimes? So it is a square that's poofed up and holds your bowl. So, like me, my hands are very sensitive to drastic temperatures. So, super hot or super cold, I can't hold the bowl. I have to have something underneath it to shield my hand from that temperature. Especially like a soup bowl or last night with chili, I have to have that. So the bowl cozy holds your bowl. Some of them are microwavable, which is awesome because I have a couple of bowls that if you put them in the microwave for even 30 seconds, they are molten lava. They are very, very useful. Anytime I'm at a show and somebody's selling them, I usually buy at least another pair. I need the designers to understand I'm poor. Oh, I did see the one from Sophisticated. Yeah, and just so you know, Aura Rosa has yet another pattern coming out soon. It's at the testers, and I need her to slow down. but then I don't because I love all the bags that she comes up with. But some patterns I have are what I call my showstoppers or my show-offs. Something that I know has the ability to really show the fabric that I'm striking or to just kind of give me a boost for when I'm applying for striking. Like I get to, I got to go watch that live. It popped into my feed right when I was going to bed. I'm going to be working with Carolina Little Stitches. So excited for that because I absolutely adore her. Oh, you have plenty stuff. Yeah. There you go. So I'm excited for that. I did just sew. Somebody asked me something. I'm so sorry. There we go. Good morning, Miss Corvus. I'm so sorry you didn't get any sleep. I mean, it was storming over here bad. It did wake me up this morning out of what was finally dead sleep. Oh, come on. There we go. It did wake me up out of like dead sleep that I finally had gotten. And I was so mad. And then I thought there was somebody in our neighborhood because there is somebody down the street that has a friend or something that comes by and they have their music blasting. I'm not a fan of it during the day, but during the day, you do you, okay? Just whatever. Because they never stay long. It seems more work to be upset about it than anything. But let me tell you, at 3 a.m., you do not want to come down my street. Oh, go get Pretty Bow. I'll see you later. You do not want to come down my street at 3 a.m. You'll be wishing I called the cops. Let's just say it goes poorly. I am not someone who is a benevolent, loving person when woken dead out of sleep. So I thought somebody at 3 o'clock in the morning was playing like something with some heavy bass. So I get up, I go to the bathroom, I come to look out the sewing room window because it faces the street. And I'm like, I could barely hear it. I'm like, oh, please don't let it be the neighbor behind us. Because I already had to talk to him about his dog once, mainly because the dog was trying to get into our yard. And neither of us really wanted that. So it was a friendly conversation. It's just 3 a.m. is not a time for me to have a friendly conversation. So I'm like, so I go back in the room and I look over and there's my husband's fan. He had gone onto the couch because he couldn't get comfortable. So sometimes he'll go sleep on the couch so he doesn't feel like he's waking me up. Actually, unfortunately, in all fairness, he couldn't get comfortable because I was laying diagonally across the bed and there was a cat here and a cat here. We were like a living emoticon of the percentage symbol. So he just gave up and went into the living room, poor baby. But he left his fan on for me. It had gotten moved. So when it was going back and forth, it would hit something. It was making that bass noise. I walked over and I pushed the fan over and it stopped. And I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't go outside and make an ass of myself at 3 a.m. because that would have been terrible. This is what we've already made, Miss Corvus, is the Moondance from Sincerely Jen. I didn't seal down these two so that you can have an extra slip pocket. I do recommend if you do that to put like a heat transfer vinyl on the inside. It'll also seal up your interfacing as well. But he's so cute. Look at his little blushy face. Notice me, Ship Senpai. Anyways, it just needs to be trimmed. I'm not going to edge coat it. I'll just probably go over it and maybe cinch the edges. But honestly, it feels fine. I think edge coating something this large is going to take too much paint and too much time, and it's going to add at least another $5 to $10. And that just seems, I mean, people are willing to pay for quality, definitely. But I've got too much stuff to do. I have so many things to get done. Like, there are 12 of these just sitting around. We're going to see how well I can get these done on camera because they've been a little bit of a challenge. I had a cutting issue, so I had to do some trimming. But right now, this is the modified Aries from Knotted Threads. that I modified a little bit more. So I've got the outer shell inside out, the inner shell inside out, so that right sides are together. I have a slip pocket. Which one is this? Yeah, I have a slip pocket on it. I need to save at least one of these because I am doing, a tutorial video. So I need to make sure that I have one of these saved for those steps. Now, because it's so small of an opening like this, I'm having to kind of squish it around. Also, I had to do a little bit of trimming on this. So I have already made the executive decision that I will be doing a 1/4 inch seam allowance instead of the 3/8. So I'm going to start, I'm doing a tacking seam allowance where I'm going around at about 1/8 of an inch. And then I'll go back around at 1/4. And then I'm going to flip this one because I want to see how that looks. Anytime you see me kind of wrestling with the bag, my foot is off of my pedal. I will say that every video and every time I sew something with y'all, because it is very important, especially with an industrial, that you move your foot off the pedal when you're not sewing. Okay, so now gone around once at, we're going to call it 1/8 of an inch, but it is tacked. At least we'll go with it, it's tacked. So now I'm going to go and do 1/4 of an inch. Especially when you're pivoting, pulling your foot off helps a lot. Good Lord, why am I suddenly so hungry? If any of y'all are in my Fat Rabbit Facebook group or even Chubby Bunny, let me know your links for bowl cozies, because I need more bowl cozies. And while it seems silly, you're like, well, Liz, why don't you just make your own? Liz doesn't have time for sleep and eating. I'm literally eating while I sew. I do not have time to make bowl cozies. There we go. Alrighty. There we go. Or if you know somebody that makes bowl cozies, message me their deets, man. I'm in need of cozies. Okay, so because I have to decide, I think it might be. Oh, here it is. because I really like on this bag clipping these corners and the curves down. But with a tiny seam allowance like that, I don't know if it's going to do much, which is why before I do all of these at once, doggone it. You know, the best part about this is that if I birth it and I don't like it and I do need to do the 3/8, I would put it back in and redo it. Not a big deal. I'm trying not to cut those extra stitches I did because the reason they're there is to give strength to the stitches and not hurt the vinyl. All right, here we go. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so I have left a bottom chunk open because it's easier to go straight up for me than it is to go to kind of do this weird curve out of the zipper pocket. Squishing in these. And I'm going to start to kind of push that out. There we go. I'm going to get that out. Make sure everything's caught nicely. Alrighty. Okay, so there's the slip pocket that I added. There's my plain side. Now, the way she modded this, she uses it as a drop-in lining. I don't like a drop-in lining on a tiny, tiny bag like this. I'd rather birth it at that point. Bigger bags, oh yeah. Really structured bags, yes. Yeah, definitely. Tiny bag like this, it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to use some of these clips. Make sure to poke out some of these corners. Mainly I'm putting these clips on the corners so they can start to kind of compress down that those sides. I do try to get all my top stitching in that done before I seal up the last hole. Where are you at? There you are. I've got a corner that's looking a little weird. Sometimes that's a problem with a unique shape because sometimes the corners are not very forgiving. Bitch, come on. Why are you not letting me over there? There we go. That might help a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Morning! How's everything out there on the farm? Anytime I have one of your posts up, that's what my nephew says when he sees. He's like, who are you looking at? I'm like, come on, I'm looking at Thunder Farm. He's like, how's everything on the farm? And then he'll just wander away. He's so random like that. There we go. Okay. That, I think, looks really nice. That almost blends in, like you almost can't even tell. If I didn't have that little rivet there, I don't think you'd be able to really tell that there's a pocket there. All right, so here's yet another time when Liz wishes she had a cylinder machine. Okay. There we go. This is also a very thin contrast vinyl. So it was interesting to work with a thicker vinyl. When you have those textiles, even if you have vinyl with vinyl, it doesn't mean that that you're not having different thicknesses. So just kind of keep that in thought process. I don't think that it's that I'm bored. It's more along that I'm having to fight a lot of one of my inner demons that says you should already have these done, because I'm pretty quick with bags. What I have to constantly on a loop remind myself that step may have taken 10 minutes, but if I have to do it 12 times, that's 120 minutes. So that's 2 hours. 2 hours just to get to this step on 12 bags. And that's if I'm not distracted by my trail mix, my cat, my notifications, which things get turned off or silenced. Now, my bob thread was doing really well on that Moondance. So, and I do love how this comes out. It still needs to have the hole seamed. Unfortunately, it's the only way to take down demons. Thank you, radio, for playing Chumbawamba. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start on my side seam. I was going to do middle, but just don't like doing them. Don't like how the bobbin thread looks. No. Come on. Madre de Dios, clip. Okay. I'm just going to kind of go nice and slow around. Try to get a nice, lovely top stitch. It's such a pretty bag. I'd hate for the top stitch to ruin it. I'm also somebody who for a long time was like, why are you going to pin the top? Just top stitch it. Just pin your top. It's not that big of a deal. No, you don't. Where are you at? There we go. been thinking about getting like a little mirror that I can put against my window so I can see the back of my machine and see why my bag isn't moving right. You know, what did it get caught on now? All right. Yeah, I have a friend of mine, Angela. I've talked about her before. She does the black and white fabric designs that you can color. She and I are night and day, because I think the first year I knew her, she talked about the fact that she had, you know, by the end of the year, hey, Charlie, go over there, please. Thank you. By the end of the year, she had done like 1 million zipper pouches. And it wasn't the million that caught me off guard. It was the just zipper pouches. I'm like, oh, zipper pouches. And she's like, no, just zipper pouches. I'm like, you did 1 million zipper pouches. She's like, yep. Why? Why just zipper pouches? That's what sells. Oh, okay. Where I like have a mental breakdown if I get even close to making a bag the same way twice. Because I like the individuality that I can bring. We can all love Supernatural, but I don't want the same bag. I want something unique. Plus, you know, I like pinks. I like random colors in mine. And sometimes I like black. What you doing? That was an interesting noise. Why'd you make that noise there, buddy? Huh? That's okay. We're just about done. One more stitch. I lied. It was a couple back stitches. Okay. I don't know. I can't make more than, I think I'm going to have to, if I cut out 12 of bags again for the next style of bag, which is probably going to be backpacks, I'm going to have to do like 6 at one time and 6 at another time, because it is just my poor brain. Yesterday, Erin said I had gas can face. It's what we call it when you're literally just about to take a gas can out to something and set it on fire. And I really did. I know I had gas can. 3 to 5 is not bad. To be fair, it's also a little damaging to your psyche. Because you're like, oh crap, why am I not done with this? Like, you're used to like getting those bags done, and now you're still working on these bags a week later, and it's unusual for you. If that's unusual for you, and now you're just trying to figure out why you're suddenly a loser, and my demons get loud when I haven't eaten too. If the bag is different enough, or if and I really have enjoyed having the lives for something different. Oh yeah. Also, I apparently cut my inside gusset too long. So I had to go and fix them by cutting them in half. Come on. Thank you, Charlie. So that it would work for the lining. This is the heavily modded Aries from Knotted Threads. I have modified it quite a bit. Well, I haven't really modified it quite a bit. I've added pockets. I added extra pockets here and there. Like, I added an extra slip pocket on the front and a zipper pocket on the inside. It hurts me when a bag's only functionality is to be pretty. because no woman is just pretty. We are smart, we're intelligent, we're funny. We are more than just a pretty face. And a bag is more than just 2 panels on the outside and a giant pocket on the inside. Even the tote bags I make have a couple slip pockets in it because it just bothers me to not have a use for that space. Ooh, which one is this? It's rad. Of course I picked one that doesn't have the things done. Okay, so that was me just sewing up the bottom through the pocket. I do take, Arissa, I do take custom orders. That's not a problem. Now I'm taking the zipper pocket and I'm going to seal it up. Come on. What year are we on? Ooh, interesting. Oh, there you are. Yeah. Oh, it depends on the bag. If you're looking for one like this, they start at $95. With that, you get to pick the hardware. The only time the price changes is if you want like specialty hardware, or if it's something that I have to order, then I add the shipping cost onto that. You get to pick the vinyl that goes with it. Oh, was it? Come on, you. Get over there. If you want more pockets, then that usually is an extra cost. It just all depends. If you go to Chubby Bunny Studios, there's a contact page, but you can also just message me as well with any questions at all. There we go. Alrighty. Ugh. Come on, you. Where are you? Sometimes getting that corner of the zipper in. There we go. Zipper closed. These off. Kind of right in the ditch there. Oh, okay, so that's what I need to do for that. It works. All right, let me get the zipper pull. Because then I've got this set and these. But wait, there's more. And then these. So 2 here and 2 here. But get those out of the way. Oh, that's why I moved them there. Hang on. Okay. Those over here as well. Okay. Oh, hold on. Actually, that's going to be it. Hang on. Whew. One more moment. I got to turn on the AC. It's hot in here. I do not know how it is so warm in this house right now. There's the base. Okay. The original pattern does not have the slip pocket. I started doing the slip pocket because, again, I like pockets, but I had a really cute magnet thing that I wanted to use. And I hate using those magnet covers and not using the magnet with it. It feels like a very big waste of hardware. Strictly my opinion. Actually, hang on, let me put that over there so I don't get anything on it. These straps are attached with these strap connectors. They're folded over the edge with a D-ring. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. I like extra pockets. Even on a small bag, it needs extra pockets. So, of course, I picked a bag that I don't have the connectors done. So I'm going to quickly edge coat those. I say quickly, it's going to take a few minutes so that they can dry. Because I actually did 2 base coats on the other ones, and I really liked how it felt. So I do a thin base coat, and that's mainly just to seal it, to get all the little fuzzies sealed up. You don't have to edge coat your connectors. What was that? I would recommend at least using a little bit of fire to seal up any of the fuzzies. However, if you're wanting to get into edge coating, but you don't want to spend like a lot of money, there's a couple of kits that you can get on Amazon that are very nicely priced, and they are of good quality. Just make sure you're getting something that says acrylic leather paint. I'm sorry, Janet, I didn't see your question. I'm running around like a maniac doing a lot of things. This pattern is not mine. This pattern is from Knotted Threads Company. It is the Aries Modified. If I don't answer the question right away, you can repeat it or just say, I'm trying to ask a question. I am simulcasting in 3 different places. As I was saying, with edge coating, Beauty and Geek has a kit now that comes with a wonderful amount that is pretty perfect for this pattern because you really don't need a lot. With hers, if you do 2 base coats, then you really only need 1 color coat and 1 top coat. I have seen folks that definitely coat it. Like it's almost an inch thick. And I'm like, wow, that is not my cup for drink. That is. So the next one I sew up. What am I doing? These already have coating on them. I'm so telling you, man. I'm feeling weird today. This is what you get with. You either get. You can either pick the glitter or the solid colors, and this is how you get them for Beauty and Geek. I cannot believe I just used up time to do that when I didn't need to. All right, well, that's fine. Let's do red. Okay. Well, it depends on what kind of vinyl you mean. The gold vinyl that I use on that bag is from Amazon. In fact, I've got to put an order in because I used the last of it for this set of bags, cutting them out. So that was fun. There we go. I do like this red on here. If you're asking about this itself, it's for the 3rd edge coat. Oh, for the edge coat. I read 3rd edge coat. I was like, wait, what? This is from Amazon, the one that I'm using right now. I have used this from Amazon. I'll link it in my shop because I do like it. It comes with these little pots of color. It does not come with a tool, but it does come with a base coat and a finisher. Their base coat is okay. I actually, for the longest time for base coat, used this. This is Eileen's Stop Fray. This is an amazing base coat. But I've used Mojo Sews, Beauty and Geek, and Amazon's, and honestly, they all work really well. If you're just wanting to start getting into edge coating, it's more cost effective to start with something from Amazon, because this way you won't. I did find that I wasn't stingy with it because Mojo Sews is a bit more pricey. Same with Beauty and Geek. I think Beauty and Geek is like right there in the middle for price. So if you're just getting started in it and you don't want to worry about a huge investment, I recommend going with the one from Amazon. When you start really liking, if you do get into edge coating, Mojo Sews has this arm thing that you can put your pieces on to dry. You can also just use clips and stuff too. So I end up with a huge glob on mine usually, and I gently touch it onto where I want to start, and then I pull away, and it usually kind of drags a line. Cut and sew, those, oh God, I'm just getting this paint everywhere. Cut and sew are really nice. It is literally, you just cut it out and you sew it. So it's like, Beauty and Geek has quite a few with the Pocket Pal from Lynn's Handmade. She's got the honeycomb bag, I believe, as well. And I know she's got quite a few. I think math packs. I know somebody's got K&A, I think, has math packs at 120% as well as 100%. I do the tapping method. I don't actually use the roller that much. Let me get this one hung up and check my other one. Because sometimes I go a little heavy. I have to make sure that it doesn't pull. By tapping, I think that's where I can get away with only doing one coat. Because I don't push it in. Like, see how that little drip is there? That's what I have to watch when I've set them up to dry. About 5 minutes in, I'll look over, make sure that something hasn't dripped off. And I'm sure if you do the rolling method that you probably don't have that issue. I'm impatient. I don't like doing 20,000 layers of something. Even as a pastry chef, when they're like, we're going to do croissant dough, I'm like, oh, okay, let's do it. Because croissants are delicious. Oh. Stay. Let me clean up my station because I have red paint everywhere. Stay. A good example, I'll show you a good example of cut and sew as well, because I got these printed for myself. See, this is a cut and sew of the Lynn's Handmade. Yep. I don't do the cut and sews too often because it's sewing the same thing over and over. And it's sewing the same thing that everybody else is sewing. But boy, does it make it easy to do a bunch of them. No measuring, really. You just cut it out. And even the holes for credit cards and that are put in there. Just put my hand in the red paint. Yes, I did. Oh, I'm just making a whole lot of a mess. Bear with me for a moment. Why do I always end up with 500 of these? Okay. There we are. So that part's taken care of. Put you over here. Whew. And then I will worry about that in a minute. about the new one? All right. I'll wait for those to dry. Because I'll just put those on later then. Okay. Alrighty. Don't need those yet. So I have my zipper pull to add on. And then I need my zipper end for this as well. That is so neat. Okay. Those silly trolls, send them over to my house so that they can cut for me as well. I will leave out trail mix, but they have to get along with the fairies because the fairies are finally being a little kinder to me. The cut and sew. These little girls. Some of the cut and sew, I know Beauty and Geek has some. K and A Fabric Designs has some. I'm sure if you asked in Sew Whatever, someone would, a lot of folks would be happy to advertise that for you. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'll go with these. Okay. I got this really cute set of zipper ends on Amazon. I believe they're in my shop. If not, let me know. There's a bunch of different kinds on here, and I absolutely love them. They're so pretty. Excuse me. Hiccups. Any chance you get, magnetize your screwdriver. It does not take that much to magnetize it. Potato print. Alrighty. Okay. What you making all that noise for, laptop? Okay, come on, you. No, where are you going? Sorry, this zipper pull is a mighty zipper pull. There we go. Oh yeah. Ta-da! Alrighty. Keep forgetting to grab a new bottle of super glue. Okay. So I have my zipper face right side down. I'm going to put a wee bit of glue in the middle. Where are you at? Okay. So I'm going to fold that in just like that. I'm going to put a little more glue. Doggone it. There we go. Okay. So I'm making as thin of a strip here as I can. And that's because I want to make sure that it's going to fit nicely. That should be fine. It's going to fit nicely inside the, there it is, the zipper end. So for this one, using a nice pretty little gold one, I have my screw sitting on just a little magnet that I keep on my machine. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I really need to find my awl because it's better than using my tweezers. But I'm going to kind of, what I'm mainly trying to do is separate the teeth a little bit right underneath that hole so that the screwdriver isn't having to do extra work. All right, just going to screw that on in. Oh, really went in there. Oh, be careful you don't over screw it in. As I have just discovered, because what it does is it does this. See, that's me holding it out straight, but it's kind of pulling. That's better than it was when I stopped. So this bag is ready for its sides. I just have to actually finish those sides. So I'm going to pick another bag to do to finish up sewing with ones that I know are finished. But it's a nice little size. And so you have one side with a slip pocket. That's a magnet. You have the zipper compartment on top. And then you have a zipper pocket on the inside as well. So you've got a good total 3 pockets. The original instructions have no pockets. It is one open purse, and that's it. There might be card pockets now that I think about it, but I don't think there are. But it really wouldn't be hard to do so. And you could push the panel down too if you wanted. That way you get like a lot of this. I squished the ever-loving hell out of it. In fact, Laurel, if you're sticking around for a few, we're going to do another one. I have 11 more of these, just like this. And my poor sanity is like, what is wrong with you? My brain went, why are you doing that? Let me sew this one up and I'll show you how I top stitched it. It did involve a lot of squishing. So much squishing. Oh, God. It's all about the materials a lot of times, but sometimes it doesn't matter what you do. I also used fleece. I think she used foam on hers for the modified. I'm like, I like the fleece. I like what the fleece does. All right. So I'm going to do a quick tacking stitch. at 1/8 of an inch. And see, this is what I mean. I am manhandling this bag. Oh, you'll see in a moment when I have to birth it. It actually isn't too bad, but I have adjusted things to help me out with that. Out of my way. Let me get rid of these threads because they're already bothering me. Boop. Okay. Excuse me. What really helps is that my contrast vinyl is a thin vinyl. It is a finished vinyl, so it's not going to give as much bite as the as something like a heavier vinyl would. Okay, so that tacked it in. Now what I'm going to do is an actual seam allowance. And the reason I did that is for twofold. It will help so that the threads aren't stretching across one set. And it also means that everything's in place and I don't have to worry if my machine went a little wonky. My machine. Sure, we'll just blame it all on Tiberius. So I will be going a little bit slower because I'm looking to get a better seam allowance. But I do squish the ever-loving crackers out of these bags. Trying to make sure that my corners look a little bit better this time too. I will say a batch sewing is good for your skills. Because if you do 12 bags at once, all you've done is just jump levels. It's like you spent years on that bag. And that's because you sewed so many of them at once. The funny thing is I had already done 5 of these before this one too. Before this set. Here we go. That's going a little bit better than I thought. I will say, pinning these together yesterday, I was for sure like, this is going to be awful. All right. What we want to do, I'm going to give it a wee bit of a trim with my pinking shears on the curve. Okay, so this is one of those songs that triggers weird random memories. Like, did y'all ever I don't know, man. I might be too old for this, but there used to be a show, I think it was on either Disney Channel or Nickelodeon or something. It was called Kids Incorporated. Did I hallucinate this? I could have sworn there was. So turning out the bag. I'm going to make sure that all my corners are nice too. I'm going to clip some of these sides too, just to make them a little bit easier. Oh. Okay. Yep, Marsha. So with my lining, I have two holes technically. I have a turning hole from the zipper panel. No, this is an industrial machine. If you use thin materials, you can do this bag. It's not too bad. Thank God somebody remembered Kids Incorporated. So I also have a turning hole here. Now, it's going to look weird that I'm going to use this turning hole when obviously this one's bigger. The reason is that when I use this turning hole, I'm going straight through, whereas this one, I have to do this weird curve out, and it's going to stretch the zipper. All I'm stretching is seams here, and I've made sure that my seams are nice and strong. Again, I'm going to squish the crap out of this bag, so pushing that into my hand and starting to pull that. Then I'm going to take the other side and go ahead and push it in. There we go. Because I used to sew for my business on a heavy duty, a Brother computerized heavy duty. And the only reason I moved up to an industrial was because it couldn't keep up with me anymore. And I could either go up to a semi-industrial or I could just bite the bullet and go ahead and go straight to the industrial. Turtle Power playing. Nice. All right. There we go. See, all that yanking isn't on your pocket. So it's a little bit easier. Ta-da! It's a purse. It's a nightmare is what it is. All right. Now, I know that the vinyl and the interfacing I use is going to bounce back nicely. So I'm not too concerned. It's also what steaming's for. I'm also going through, before we do anything else, and making sure that all of my seams have caught. Okay, we're looking good. I'm going to go along and make sure that any corners have a little bit of a poke out. Ow. Making sure that as I'm poking things out that I'm not stressing any seams. And then I'm going to go ahead and actually get rid of part of that. So I'm going to open up my zipper, get into the zipper hole, and pull my lining through my zipper hole. Move those out of the way. I'm just going to line up my center marks. There we go. And then I'm just going to find where my stitching ends. Make sure that I'm not accidentally sewing this to my zipper pocket. I have done that before. Okay. And then that way, okay, and that's all sealed. does, I think it's going to help a little bit more to do that. With the last one, I didn't. Okay, let's see. Here comes the fun part. Like, I know my old domestic could handle the materials I have right now. I know they'd be able to sew this bag because I've got a lot of light materials. There we go. He does. This is one of my so with the Marriott carpet, I do a bunch of designs, and every year I add at least one more design. I went a little hog wild this year and added like 4, 5, I think, designs to it, because I had a lot of requests for Ghostbusters and Star Trek. If I thought about it soon enough, I would have been able to get the fabric made for it for Has-Been. But I did get a sticker made. In fact, my sticker should be out for delivery. There we are. But yeah, both him and the ghost. I love how cute it is. And then there's that front pocket. Oop. These are some strong freaking magnets, let me tell you. Okay, so top stitching. Here we go. Before I start top stitching this, I'm going to make sure I take a drink and a bite of something. If you have issues when you're sewing that you find yourself clenching, find something before you start to sew a tough problem to chew on. It does help. Nuts are really good for that too. All right. So, take this part. I'm going to squish it. Kind of looks like Gary's shell. Meow. Sorry. Can't help it. Okay, so I'm going to squish it even more, unfortunately. And that's because I just need to get it underneath this bleeding machine. Come on. Now, I do have these done. They're connectors. So I'll run and grab those once I get this under the bloody machine. Good Lord. Okay. So I don't know if you noticed, but I tend to push my my outside inside a little bit. So you want to make sure that you don't accidentally stitch in the ditch on that side. You still want it to clamp down really well on your lining. So for me, I'm going to go in, I'm not doing 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to do a fat 1/8. Fight with these dang clips. Okay. What also helps is if you go behind the machine. Here, let me scooch it a little. There we go. If you go behind the machine and you straighten out before you move, because it's curving, you don't want your stitches to curve. You just want the fabric to move underneath the foot, right? Here we go. So I straighten up my front, and I also grab the back and straighten it. It's also a good idea to do a lot of stopping and starting if you have stuff that's real close to the edge. Like I've got that zipper panel in there. I do not want to accidentally sew my zipper panel. Come on. Bloody hell, sometimes these clips. Okay, so I'm going back around the side. So I need to yank the front as well as pulling the back. Okay. Be careful on this side because I've got a pocket. Madre de Dios, you bloody clip. Oh, that hurt a lot. Alrighty. Whew. So this is about how it looks when I'm done top stitching it. Okay. Got that all settled on the other side. What's going on there? Something just felt a little weird, so. All right. I see you. There we go. Okay. Put that for a second and go up there. Do not really need any of these. Where are you going? Fine, go over here. All right, hang on just 1 second. Mother of God, why? All right. So I need these and this. And come here, you. 1, 2, 2. All right. Okay, so I'm going to leave those inside there. I'm going to put that over there for the moment. So here are my connectors. Put Slimer's tongue right there. They are completely edge coated. So this is 2 layers of base, 1 layer of color, and 1 layer of finisher. The base and the finisher on this set I know is Beauty and Geek, but the paint is from Amazon. And it does not crack. It bends nicely. Anytime I try a new paint, I'll paint a spare piece, and then I'll just sit here and do this for like 10 minutes. And that way I can tell if it's going to bend, if it's going to, I want to know if it's going to crack. That's the back, so I'm not too worried. I'm just singeing some threads real quick, making sure that everything looks nice or is going to stay looking nice. So I need this, and then I will need my press, but that's going to take up space. So I put on the ring, make sure everything's nice and centered, and then I clip it. So I make sure that back is centered. Now we're going to pierce Slimer's tongue. There we go. And I usually take my ruler because I'm just that. Okay. Because I want to make sure that it's actually in the middle. So 5/8. Yep. Okay. There we go. And then I just keep the clip on there. And I do the same on the other side. Okay. Yep. we are. All right, so I've got those two. You see how they're kind of loosey-goosey? You want them to be a little loose, but you want them to be able to come onto here nicely. Now, and I kind of go tight down. That way they're not flopping around. Oops, Nikes, where are you going? Get out my... If you have really thick vinyl, you're going to want to make sure that your rivets work well with that. Anything too thin and it's not going to stick on there properly. It's not going to lock in. Alrighty. So I take my post. I put it through the top or through the front. And then I stick that through the hole that I made on the side of the bag. We'll wrap this around. It should fight you a little bit to get on there, and that's because you want to have it nice and tight. Okay. Ta-da! And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Now, before I hop off, I'll show you what item is in the testing phase for Fat Rabbit. Ooh, there we go. See, that one went on just a little bit looser than I think I would have liked, but it's not too bad. This one's going to stay standing up most of the time with a little bit of movement. That one's going to easily fall over, but it'll be fine. It's not that big of a deal. Let me move those over. Sorry, this is heavy. Thank you. Bear with me for just a moment. We're almost done. Okay, let me get these rivets set. Go. There we are. That part's done. I have enough super glue there. Oh, you know what we do need to do? I did not. I gotta sew the zipper pocket real quick too. That I don't need anymore for the time being. Almost forgot about this zipper pocket. Kind of burping it a little bit. seeing how much air is actually going to stay in there. Because sometimes waterproof canvas, if the thicker ones like OtterTex, it doesn't have any breathability, because it's meant to be waterproof. So you want to make sure that you push out all that air. Otherwise, your bag's going to sit a little funny when it's full. All right, so that's taken care of. Now we need to put on our zipper pull. I will also get out my zipper end. Let's see. Let's go with something a little Art Deco style. I think that's going to be a good one. There you are. There you go. Okay, so to finish up the bag, you have to put on the zipper. So I line up my zipper panel corners. Oh, you're so welcome, Laurel. I'm always happy to help. So I line up my corners on my panel, and then I just kind of glide my nails across the zipper. Hold there. And then I look and see. Yep, there we go. Who probably is above. In this case, left. Would have been helpful to have my zipper pull out and ready, but dems the brakes. It's fine. So I need you first. I think that's going to be a little. Nope, that's fantastic. Awesome. Because what you're looking for is you really want these to match up. If you have a printed zipper tape, you also want to make sure that that's going to match up as well. Yep. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I've got a little bit. Okay, so I have my zipper face up. Oh, look at that. My little marks even matched up. Nice. I use a super glue, but it's the Ultra Gel Control. Gels are better because they don't soak through fabric in that. They sit on top of it. So this way you're not accidentally gluing your fingers together like I have done more times than I want. So I've folded that over, one side over. Now I'm going to put another drop, spread it out a little bit on the top edge. Now I really have to make sure that this gets as thin as possible, but it can be wide. It can be wide, it just can't be too thick, because this one that I'm using, it's a short one. So it is definitely something I wouldn't use on a very big purse. But the smaller purses are good for it. Let me put my cap on. way to have your tiny screwdriver magnetized is just put it onto a heavy magnet and just let it sit there for a couple of minutes. It'll be fine. Alrighty. No. Just yelling at my cat. No. Oh, why did I close that up? With the other zipper, I didn't do any super glue. I am going to do it on this one because it's such a short one. That's not the cap. Because it's such a short one, I don't want it to accidentally come off. So a little bit of super glue, E6000 works too. Okay, that went nicely. Once again, I'm going to take something sharp like if you have a dowel, use a dowel. I've got my tweezers. I'm going to try to push in between the zipper teeth so that, there we go. Alrighty. This way it's kind of started and I don't have to work the screwdriver as hard, the screw as hard. But I will say these have a nice little sharp point on them. I'm sorry, I'm not able to see them now. There we go. Okay, so with this one, what it likes to do is it likes to kind of do this weird, like, rocking boat thing. So I have to make sure to hold it nice and tight. And then hold everything as best I can. So I'm having to stop every once in a while and readjust the zipper tape. There we go. Come on, yeah. There we go. I'm just trying to make sure that everything looks nice. Okay. Couple of things I double check. One, that it's going to stay on. I also make sure that I can't feel the screw So I'm just going to rub it and then I yank at it with that information as you will. All right. So that is, I'm going to push that in for right now. When I travel with these to the show, what I'll do is I'll push the zipper inside like that so that they're a little bit thinner. And then I'll just push open like this and then up when they're displayed. But I do like that. Just made something recently. Oh, yeah, that. Okay. So that is 2 of 12 done. And I think it's lunchtime. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce. Let me know. I'll put a highlight of one part of this, but let me know if there's something that y'all want to see made. Is there a bag that's come out recently? I just have to make sure that I have permission to do so, or that they put in a blanket permission, like Alexis from Ora Rosa. She's like, as long as measurements aren't given out. Same with knotted threads. As long as there aren't any measurements given out. Oh, I did want to show you what's in testing. You're right. because I have to cut some backpacks out soon. I thought, why not try this out? It is called a placement pal. So it will have just about a little bit more than the thickness of where so the inside will be a little smaller than the interfacing is, just to kind of give you a little bit of wiggle room. But what you'll do is, let me get some fabric real quick. Oh God, are you okay? Don't get under my feet like that, you weirdo. Well, I guess I'm not sending that one. That's great. Okay, here we go. So what you do is you put your placement pal down as I knock everything over behind me. Let me see if I can get y'all a better view too. There we go. So you just put the placement pal down. You can trace around it. And these are not a replacement for acrylic templates. The placement pals will usually just have 1 or 2 pieces, but it's going to help those that have a specific character. Like, to be fair, if I do a backpack for myself with this, I want my angry boar husband like this, where he is just posed so weird on that mushroom. So what I'll do is I'll take my placement pal and I'll just put it right where I want it. So like this will be the backpack. It should have 3 pieces, which will be the main body. And then the back will be the top and the bottom. But mostly I know I just want to do 1 piece. It does mean that you have to hold it kind of like on the sides. I'm trying to think of a way to kind of put a piece in that you can press down, but if you're really wanting that kind of thing, that's what acrylic templates are for. I don't have the ability to do those, or believe me, I would definitely be in heaven to do that, to make my own acrylic templates. But these will be a nice cost alternative, and it'll just be for fussy cutting. So if you're wanting the templates from that template shop, I mean, the only reason I even came up with this was because the template shop doesn't have the itty bitties, the itty bitty bowler from Sew Yours. They don't have anything from Sew Yours. So I wonder if Sew Yours does their own. I'll have to ask her. But right now, this is in a testing phase. It's also, I want to make sure it works, and then I will be reaching out to the designers to ask them if I would be able to sell them. At this point, it's going to come out harsh, but it doesn't really matter at this point if the designers let me do anything, because it's the pattern piece. So I'm allowed to print it for my own benefit. Especially right now, like this has no measurements on it. So see some things at the, see, I tried an X because the way I do my NCWs, I wanted to make sure that I wanted the thickness to be thick enough that it wasn't going to like warp and bend. Like it's got some give, but it's not going to, break if you drop it. But I needed it to also be thin enough that your rotary blade can go around it if that's what you're wanting to do. This was the first test that we did because I wanted I needed a 9-inch square. And this doesn't work out too badly, but at the same time, it blocks most of the view. But I might have him try one maybe a set across bars, like down this way and this way, to where it still has that hole in the middle. Because I have to design them as an SVG, and then he puts it in for the printer, because I was just giving him a simple SVG and letting him kind of mess around with it. Yes and no. You can do sometimes. They have transparent filament, but it's not transparent. It's like I said, so far I don't anticipate these being a replacement for acrylic templates. And the more I have to do to it, like I was just thinking, well, resin's clear. I could probably just do some resin. Well, then I have to add resin to the cost. And now it's becoming almost as costly as the templates. I'm also not wanting to step on that template shop's toes, though, to be fair. How many webbing people are there? Speaking of, I need to talk to somebody about something. I have to remember to talk to Kelly. But mainly, I'm going to be testing this out myself first, because I'm going to need to cut out a bunch of backpacks. And this might be one of the backpacks because it's so cute. But I have, like, when he printed it out, I have the pattern piece and I put it right onto the pattern piece. Actually, the first couple of ones that he did like this, I was pausing it after it started and then putting the pattern piece down to make sure it would work, because I didn't want to use up filament. I think these would be a very interesting tool to have around. I also, like, I really want to do the Erica. Definitely need to do the Erica. And that's because I do a half and half outside body. So having this to just grab so that I don't have to keep the pattern piece out would help me a lot. And because I've got this one and I've got the itty bitty, and I need to do the Erica next. And again, it would only be the one piece. So not really meaning to replace acrylic templates. Again, just wanting to help those that have that need for a certain look of the outside of their bags. Like, you look on it, and this is one of the reasons why I love Podtastic Designs, because with this, I could just throw that on the floor. That works. With this pattern, you have something on every part of it. The designs that get my goat, not to use a real late ageism thing, is the ones where it's way spaced out in between the things, because I want to make sure that the front part of it, the main part of the bag, has that ability to show off without taking up a quarter of my vinyl or the fabric or that. I know I had one somewhere. There was one that I was asked to strike, and I said, no, thank you. And they're like, what do you mean, no, thank you? I said, no, thank you. I don't like that design. But I was like, if you need me to put down stuff for it, sure, no problem. But I don't like the design. It's just too much space. For clothing, that can be forgiven. Like with this, there's a lot of space in between the characters. So with the clothing, it's okay. But with the bag, when I'm using this much, or when I'm only using this much of it, and if I put it down on the edge and the only character part of the design is over here, well, I'm going to want to move it up here. And now I've wasted all of this under here. So it's a big pet peeve of mine. It's type of thing that I take into consideration when I do my own seamless, and Positive does amazing work on that. I love her stuff so much. I love me a stack design. Aaron doesn't like the stack designs as much. He says it's too much in an area, and I'm like, I understand that, but I'm looking at it at a different reason. But yes, so Placement Pals, I'm gonna post in Fat Rabbit probably today or tomorrow about them, and definitely join Fat Rabbit if you would like to have a chance to test one of these. I'll make a post about which ones that you would want to test, and I will need proof that you have that pattern. And the folks that I do end up picking, I'm going to let you know that the caveat is going to be at that point that I do have the designers okay for that. I can make them for myself. That's no big deal. But once I want to start selling them, like the classic zip around forms, I got permission to sell those. And boy, were those a slight pain in the butt sometimes. Okay, I am going to go get some lunch and look at what in the world I've knocked over this time. So I hope your Saturday is not gloomy like mine, and that you have a great day. Again, check out Fat Rabbit Supplies on Facebook if you're wanting to be a tester at any point. Plus, I just, I like to have people in the group. Oh, where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? All right. So I have to get things together. Oh, somebody wanted to see what. So that's what the red looks on that one. The other ones, oh, and it's dry too. Yay. Can be friends. So, to the tubes, maybe. My mouse doesn't want to always work. Why does it feel like it's Sunday? There you are. All right, so tubies, bye. Tube.